I've hardly left my log cabin, and I'm already realizing that someone is eagerly anticipating my return. I love you so much, Snowy. So, this is my first video, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's being a before video I can already look back to. This is just, for context, kind of a sweeping landscape of my walkway from my house to my garage is over there. That's my husband's pickup truck. But this is just the edge of a log cabin. This is the only clearing I have in the entire property. It's actually a septic field. I know that sounds kind of unromantic, but I'm hoping to honestly take coal and make it into a diamond. I'm really looking forward to making this a native garden this summer. And also kind of the no-mow lawn method, which I'm really intrigued by. It's such a small septic field, and truly it's the only clearing on the property. That's my neighbors over there. But it's just, it has so much potential, and I feel like it just needs me to realize it and make it something great. It deserves so much better than what it's getting. It shouldn't be a lawn. And yet, I'm also looking forward to not mowing. But I'll be honest, we hardly mow it anyways. But, oh gosh, there's so much potential. So, something to be mindful of. I mean, obviously, this is back into my house. That's my dryer vent. That is my laundry room window. And I also want to, next time I'm inside, I've been trying to take peeks too, but I really want to look outside my laundry room window more while I'm in this dream phase. And because I want to be able to look outside my laundry room window and love what I see. And that's one thing I need to take into consideration while I'm planning. And the other thing too is I'm already starting to realize you can kind of see footprints in there. Along the back edge of this is a bird feeder. And I always look at that bird feeder while I'm doing dishes. It just makes doing dishes so much more wonderful. It brings me a lot of happiness. So I'm constantly in the winter, even when it's feet of snow, trudging back there. So I want this pathway to always be here. And you can already tell that there's pathways here too. And that's often because I go from the garage with birdseed or whatever, and I traipse through here in the summer too. So that's one of the septic field markers. I'm considering painting it. I don't know if anyone else has done that. My dad-in-law does it, and I'm just going to start calling him Dad from now on. But he painted his brown, and they're beautiful. And they've held up pretty well over the years. So that's something I'll probably be doing this summer too. But this video is honestly just the beginning stages of planning a native garden and a no-mow lawn. I'm out here to just dream. I'm considering the light conditions a little bit, but I was thinking as a treat to myself, because it's something I'm having a hard time processing the light, I'm probably going to come out like every hour in another video and kind of just take a quick footage of what everything looks like in the sun and kind of get a better glimpse of, am I full shade, am I part shade, like what's going on. That's one part of the planning too, but this once again is just about taking everything in. So, and thinking of the beds I want to do, because this summer I think is just going to be about establishing beds. It's so tempting to just jump in and start planting right away, or planting right away, I'm sorry, but I think for longevity and to make sure that this is truly no maintenance in the future, I kind of want to do the measure twice, cut once approach and really think everything through. So I'm walking in. So this would be, once again, I'm on the pathway that would be here. So this makes sense and I'm following this pattern. And I kind of want to consider this from every angle. So like, there's the bird feeder. And I want to plant in there too. There's some baby cages. I don't know if you can see them. That's a hemlock tree and I have a Padoga dogwood, but I want it to be lush in there. But that is a project for another day. You can help me with that too if you want. But I just want to see it from this angle. So pathway here once again, pathway there. And I'm realizing that like this is my crawl space on this side. So I want to make sure just to plan ahead and make sure that like an ATV or a bobcat can always get through. So if anything ever needs to be done in the house that we need to get through, that we can. So I don't want to kind of pigeonhole myself in and not be able to get around the house for house projects. And we're also planning on replacing our windows this summer. So it's kind of nice already knowing that I'm going to be working on this a ton and to be mindful of that with the garden beds as well. Let's see. So there's acacia trees there. Maybe like a nice rounded bump out. That would be really pretty. I do want curves. I don't want it to look straight and formal. So I'm thinking like bushes, sedges. Trying to think of what native plants would look good in this space. I'd love input, advice, encouragement. Anything is welcome. I haven't seen any other YouTube channels online that have started a Zone 4 native garden, especially over a septic field. So this is the first. I'm not normally a leader, I'm more of a follower. So if anyone knows better than me, I would love to learn. But I also feel like I'm cataloging this so that others can learn with me. Hopefully this is kind of a gift to all of us in Zone 4, Zone 3. So here's the pathway. So it would be a tiny sliver. If you see my finger, like a sliver here, maybe rounded. I want to make sure we can always access this. And I also want to make sure nothing planted is too precious. Like, I don't want to think of having septic problems in the future, but if we ever do, I don't want to lose anything like this 20-year-old rose bush that my grandmother transplanted for me, and I love it to pieces. Like, it's going to be hardy, natives, and happy to be here. And I need to consider the root systems too, but they're not so deep that they would hurt anything. If anything, they should help the septic fields. I know that there's nurseries like Prairie Moon and Prairie Nurseries, and they're in Midwest. I think they're both like in Wisconsin-ish. And I'm in Wisconsin, so it's meant to be. But they literally give you seed mixes for septics, but I honestly want to have more control. So I will probably be planting my own plants of choice. So this too, I can just see this being a massive swath of plants, filling that in there. And here's my pathway. So this is like barely, I don't know if I'll plant anything around this corner. It may just start to open up in here. So like all of this, like a bump out here, could be natives, or maybe I do want to go here. Starting to think that through. There's something good to think about. I'm really thankful that we're doing this video. Any input or advice, anything is welcome. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. I know it's 18 degrees out and it's not quite spring yet, but somehow, even though it's only 18 degrees out, it feels balmy and I'm excited, and this is going to be a really joyful undertaking. So let's start walking this way. I'm curious to see it from the other angle too. I just want to constantly take it from other angles. I want it to look pretty from every side and just kind of take that into consideration. This is my driveway, which is somehow the Bermuda Triangle of a Northwoods. Everyone gets stuck in this driveway except for my husband and I. So I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go back even further. Step over. So driving in, that's when the log cabin opens up. So I'm curious, I just want it to look like really full and yet calm. I don't want a very vivacious, crazy garden. And I know for some people that is the most life-affirming thing in existence. But as gardeners, we really have to think about what makes us happy. And for some people, like some of my favorite gardeners, I love Impatient Gardener a million times over. I recommend her so much. And she's a dahlia lover. So for her, this would be just an infusion of brightness. But I kind of like the idea of calm. I think I'm going to do a lot of foliage, and I really love the idea of kind of a moon garden. And I'm realizing too, just seeing all the white with the snow, it just makes me really happy. And I'm glad I've already figured that out. I think having a theme will really help me plan everything in the future. So like when I go to a nursery and I see these beautiful pink blooms or whatever, I'm not going to be susceptible to it. I can appreciate it and move on and say I love you, but you're not for me. So I'm looking for like green, white, maybe even a little yellow, like daffodils in the spring. Just starting to dream. This is the best part of gardening. So there's that spot. So once again, that's my pathway. Just a sliver. I don't know if I would do like ground covers in here a little bit. Maybe wrap around this copse of trees. There's so many ideas, so much potential. But I really love the idea of establishing a no-mow lawn. It just brings me so much happiness. And I think we all need a little more time in our lives. Unless you really love to mow your lawn, and I understand grass cut, it just smells so good when my neighbor cuts their grass, but I don't want to mow every weekend. I want to mow hardly at all. So it's just, It's nice putting a stake in the ground now of choosing something that's going to make me really happy. It'll be investment in the next couple of years, but it'll be enjoyment for years to come. And not just for me, but for all the woodland animals around. And that makes me really happy. So it's the small things in life. So here's our first before, and I'm looking forward to having afters and being able to celebrate the changes here. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.